Good day, everyone. Robert Weimer, the go-to guy of DesireADifference.com. Well, in this video tutorial, we are going to get out of that boring theme, and we are going to start trying on some new themes to make your website have that special flavor, have that special flair. So let's go ahead and log in to our training website. We're going to log in here. Now, as you can see, at the last tutorial, whenever we changed and got into the avatar, look at our comment on Hello World, the default post. See how it has a nice graphical representation here? It's a lot better than the Invisible Man. But I digress. We are going to go into the appearance and we are going to look for a different theme. Now what we have are two separate tabs here on Manage Themes and Install Themes. Our current theme, which is developed the 2010. Now there's nothing wrong with this. In fact, if you want to run with it, I would suggest going ahead and running with it. In fact, let's go ahead and tweak these themes just a little bit. So let's go ahead and change, well, let's go ahead and get into some of our options that we have before we get into installing themes. Let's take a look at our widgets. Okay. Our widgets basically are little applications that help to make a website a better website. Now, whenever we get into plugins, which we'll get into in a little later post or a little later video tutorial, some of our plugins are widgets. Now, basically what we are looking at here, if we look at our post here, see off to the side, recent posts, recent comments, archives, categories, those sort of thing. These are actually widgets. Recent posts, recent comments, archives, categories, all of these things. And even the search, which is very important to our website. Searches through our pages, through our posts, all of that stuff. Need to have that. That is absolutely a necessity. So you can actually take these out anytime, or you can even add to it. So let's go ahead, and if we click on the triangle here, you can change the search to whatever you like. You can change it to, let's change it to something interesting. Let the bookworm get, oh, excuse me, cat, that's funny, get that for you. Let's go ahead and save. So it doesn't take very long. You click on the Close tab, and let's see if we can refresh it. Let the bookworm get that for you. It gives a lot more descriptive, and plus it helps with the search engine rankings if you make it very descriptive. So we can change the text in any single one of these to put in what we want. Now under recent posts, this is a good way of putting your posts, your blog posts, in the light, and we can change this. By default, it goes under recent posts. It basically goes under the default of any single one of these. Now we're going to go ahead and change this to recent posts. We're going to change it to, let's see, book posts. We're going to leave the default number at 5. And you can change it to however many posts that you want. But again, if you get too many and you have a lot of posts, it can get to be, again, a scrolling nightmare. We're going to go ahead and save. Close that up. Recent comments, you can leave that here. Let's call it bookworm comments. Pretty simple, really. Archives, now we can go ahead, let's see, let's call it back shelf archives. Keep it in a theme here. Now we can see show post counts, which is alright. Display as a drop-down menu if you wish to do that. We're going to leave those blank for right now. And you can tweak around with this in your post and see what actually it does. That's the one thing about WordPress. You can experiment, and if you don't like it, you can go back and change it. No worries. Categories. Let's change this title to, let's see, on the shelves. Yeah, I got that. Show as a drop down. Show hierarchy. Now basically a hierarchy, if we remember back in school, or if you're still in school, kind of the outline format, you know, big Roman numeral 1, indent the paragraph to A, that sort of thing. We're going to go ahead and do that. Close that out. Our meta tags, tell you what, we are going to go ahead and just dump it. Now this is the thing about it. I don't want this here. Don't want it anywhere in this. So what you can do is you can take, and you'll see the little arrows, and you can take and you can drag it down to inactive widgets, and it gets rid of it. Simple as can be. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look and see how this is looking. We refresh our page. Isn't that nice? Much more descriptive and much more getting into the theme here. Secondary widgets area. Now you can go ahead and put in more stuff if you want. It's just as simple as dragging and dropping. Let's go ahead and save. Now, depending upon the theme that you have, it will give you choices as far as where you can put your widgets. As we can see, we have a primary and a secondary widget area. We also have a first footer, a second footer, that sort of thing. You can really get into branding your stuff. Now we can put in, let's put in a text widget, and basically the nice thing about this, adding the title, let's put message from the bookworm. Now in this area under text, and this is important, you can put in just arbitrary text. Brown fox jumped over the lazy dogs. You can put in that, or you can put in HTML. If you have a YouTube video or a Facebook fan page that you have the code for, you can just copy and paste the code and put it in there, and it will be put into your widget. We're going to go ahead and close that. Now let's take a look and see what our site looks like. Blog roll, as you can see, that is our secondary widget. And let's see, let's actually go back. Message from the bookworm. Now remember, it again is under the first footer widget area. Message from the bookworm. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dogs. Let's find out. Let's see what we have here. If we put and fill up these headers, and we're not going to make it too fancy. We're going to call it ASDF. We're just going to put in some arbitrary text just to see what all of this is going to look like. Because with this theme, I'm actually curious. Add our text, we drag and drop. ASDF, ASDF, ASDF. Very clever, very creative. And we're going to add another text widget. ASDF, ASDF, and save. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look and see what this is going to look like. As you can see, you can really start to fill this up. Now you might be thinking, okay, no big deal. This is the cool thing about it. We're going to go ahead and get rid of the links, the text. We're going to keep one of these texts, and we're going to put these back over here. Now, I want to show you something that's really, really cool. We are going to put in underneath the text under the secondary widget, we are going to put in this RSS, Real Simple Syndication. Now, we are going to put in, let's put in news from CNN. Oops, I put that in the wrong spot. We got to put it down under the feed title. Enter the RSS feed URL here. Okay, now this is where it gets cool. And don't take notes. but I just want to show you just how neat this is. We're going to go to CNN.com. Yeah, CNN.com. Wait for this to pull up. And we are going to look, and it'll probably be right in front of my face. We are going to look up some RSS feeds, which all major sites usually have. RSS, right down here at the bottom. This is what is cool. We can get these RSS feeds here. Top stories, world news, sport. Let's go ahead and look for, let's go ahead and just do top stories. Now I'm going to go ahead and copy the link. We are going to go back into this and we are going to paste this link URL here, and we are going to save. And we're going to go ahead and how many items? We're going to leave it at 10. Display item content, we can do that. Display author if available, display item date. We're going to go ahead and leave these as is. We're going to close that up. Now we're going to show you what this is going to look like. Refresh our page. Isn't this awesome? Now if it gets to be a little bit too scroll happy for you, we can go back in, change the RSS from CNN to not display item content, but we'll go ahead and let it display the author. We'll do a save. And we will refresh. Much better, much more concise, and we're not scrolling as much. This is wonderful because you can put in news sources that are relevant to your site. And we've done this just as an experiment because we went ahead and just did top stories. This is great for keeping people on here, and there's nothing wrong with sharing links or sharing other sites here. So if they click on a link, if your viewers click on a link, it will instantly take them to that particular story. The nice thing about this is that you do not have to update anything. The site that has the RSS feed available does the work for you. All you have to do is just input the code. We're going to go ahead and leave that there. We're going to go back, and that is our widgets area. Very simple drag and drop. Now here's our menus area we're getting into, and let's take a look. We're going to go ahead and work a custom menu. We're going to call this main navigation. Okay, and we are going to go ahead and put the bookworm blog and about in your custom navigation. Now what this does is it creates a navigation bar at the very top of your website, absolutely necessary to make your customers happy. So we're going to go ahead and add to menu, bookworm blog and about, and it gives you choices as to the navigation label. You can change it to whatever you want. You can remove it or you can cancel changes if you didn't like it. And we are going to go ahead and add a custom links. Now let's say we wanted to put Amazon up there as a menu. Now this is just for experimental purposes. Let's do Amazon.com. And let's take a look at the label or the title of what this is going to be called. And we're going to call it Find Books at Amazon.com. And we're going to add that to the menu. And now we're going to, once you get everything customized and everything ready, you want to save it. Let's make sure we're saving. Okay, now let's refresh. And we've got that. It looks like this theme may not support custom navigation. It looks like this theme doesn't support custom navigation. And that is the problem whenever installing a theme, is you want to make sure that it does support that. But I tell you something, we're going to go ahead and leave this here. And we're going to go ahead and put in another one. Borders.com. Find books at borders.com. And add to menu. And we're going to go ahead and save it. Yeah, I think we're good. And I want to refresh it just to make sure. Usually the default theme doesn't leave you a lot of options as far as being able to customize it. Okay, so it's not going to allow us to do a menu, and that's fine. We'll leave the menu, the main navigation, as is, and that will stay until we find a theme that allows us to be able to put in some custom navigation. Let's go ahead and go to background. Now, background image, you can upload an image of your choice if you like, and let's find something arbitrary. We're going to do a Google search under images. Now folks, I'm doing something here for the idea of a test blog. You really don't want to grab any images off of Google because of copy issues. A lot of people do it, and I understand that, and I've done it myself. But if you really want to get some images, you can find third-party image editors to be able to create custom backgrounds for you, or I would suggest setting up an iStock photo account at iStock.com, and those will have, you pay for them, you can use the images however you want. Just my opinion. Okay, let's do, but for the sake of this tutorial, we're going to go ahead and look. Wallpaper. Okay, let's get into medium size. And I tell you what, let's go ahead and drag, for the sake of this, it really doesn't have to be anything spectacular. Let's go ahead and look for this. We're going to save this to our desktop. I'm going to call it bookworm background. And then we are going to go ahead and we're going to click on the browse after you save your image, and we are going to upload. And you get a preview of what it's going to look like. Pretty tiled and pretty bad. Now we can choose display options. We can choose to put it from the left, center, or right. We can choose no repeat, which it shows you in real time. You can choose to scroll or fixed. I would choose fixed. And we're going to go ahead and, just for the sake of showing you what it's going to look like, we can choose that. And we're going to save changes. Let's take a look and see what our website looks like. And we can put in a nice background, and as you can see, the background is staying stationary because of the choice. It's a fixed background. If we had chosen to scroll, we save changes yet again. We refresh. What will happen is the background moves along with the website. It's not very ideal. But I tell you something, I don't like the tiled stuff. Unless it's seamless, that's fine. But for right now, we are going to go ahead and we are going to remove our background image. And we are going to just select a color. Now, depending upon your choice of colors, it shows you in real time what it's going to look like. We're going to change it to something a little more soothing, something a little more leather, like a leather book. We're going to save changes, and it gives you your hex number. Isn't that nice? We are going to refresh. Oops. Our color did not save. Let's try this again. And refresh. There we go. A little bit better. Gives the site a little splash of color. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and get into our header area, and this is where we can go ahead and change this. If you have a custom logo banner, and it gives you the dimensions, at least for this theme, of what you should do. It gives you choices as to the dimensions of your background image. Now we're going to eventually change themes, but I just wanted to show you how easy this is. We're going to go ahead and choose that. We are going to reset. Oh, no, we're going to leave it right where it is. But it gives you a choice of removing the image, or you can reset the image back to its default. So if we remove it and we get into an, oh no, I love that thing, we can choose to restore the original header image, which puts it right back where it was. I tell you what, I like this one. Save changes. Ah, that's pretty. And let's refresh. That's nice complementary or contrasting colors, I should say. A little bit better than before. Alrighty. And our site is shaping up here. And we are going to look at the editor. Now this is where, if you know a little bit of code, you can get into this. But I just wanted to show you what is here. You can get into your comments and get into the code and all this stuff. To be honest with you, if you go to WordPress, you want to get away from the code. This is more of a geek area, that sort of thing. So we're going to go ahead and get out of this. Now we're going to get into installing a new theme. Installing a new theme. Yes, let's get out of 2010 by WordPress team. No offense to the WordPress team, it just doesn't look very cool. Okay, now you can go ahead, and this gives you just a myriad of different choices, and I'm not going to get into all of them. We're going to go ahead and look at some featured themes, and of course there's good old 2010, but you can get into some different looking themes, and WordPress.org has users that are just creating themes. This is all that they do all day long. And you can choose from that. And let's say if you find a theme that you like, let's say the magic. Let's take a preview of what it's going to look like. So you get kind of an idea. Now it's not showing what you've got on your site. It won't do that until you download the theme. But we want to get a little more specific. Let's get into Manage Themes. Oh, excuse me. Back to Install Themes. I'm sorry. Now what we're going to look at is we're going to look at, because if you remember we created a menu, but because the theme that we had, it didn't work, we are going to look and see under Features. We are going to look for a custom menu. We are going to select that. And let's see if we want to select anything else. We might want to see if we have SEO. And let's find themes. The reason why we put SEO, search engine optimization, you want to have that in your search terms when you're looking for a theme. Even if it looks pretty, even if it looks nice, you want to have SEO. Your site will not be as friendly to the search engines if you don't have it SEO compliant. So with that in mind, these are all SEO friendly themes, and they have customized menus. Let's just go ahead. Ooh, I like this one. Classroom blog. And you know, we can look at books. I like that one. Let's go ahead and look for something else here. And I'm not going to go ahead and get too picky. Wake up simple WP community. Let's check in some other pages. Again, choices. It's all about choices. And why not go through all of these and select what we like? And I'll tell you what. I like 2010 Weaver. I kind of like the color scheme that looks. Theme preview. And it shows you exactly what each one of these is going to look like. Shows you the different forms, the list types, paragraphs, what they'll look like, the headings, and all of those sort of things. After looking at that, I'm really not a big fan of it. Let's take a look at WP Perfect. Colors are a little more to my liking. I like the way that sets up. Let's go ahead and let us install. Now here's the thing. When you install a new theme, it only downloads it to your WordPress website. It does not, I repeat, it does not install it as its default. Let me show you. We're going to go ahead and install it. Now we can go ahead and since it's downloaded, let me show you what you got. Okay, so here's what we've got. This is a downloaded theme and it's ready to be used whenever you like. So now that it's downloaded, we can activate, or we can preview it I should say, and see what this is going to look like. The bookworm. Okay, and we can see that the menu works out just right. So let's go ahead and activate this theme. And once we activate it, it becomes our default theme. And if we were to go back to this, we can see that it has changed now. Let's go back to our menus and make sure that everything is going to work out all right. Free books at Amazon.com. Let's go ahead and save the menu and make sure that it's going to work. Let's refresh. Doesn't look like it's doing what we want it to do. So, it doesn't do what we want it to do. No worries, we find another theme that will. Let's get rid of the SEO terminology and let's get into let's see, custom menus. Where did that go? Custom header, custom colors, custom menu. Let's find our themes. And let's go ahead and install Red Bell. Red Bell. I love that color red. Let's preview. Bookworm blog. I like that. And let's go ahead and close out and let's activate. Isn't it wonderful all the things that you can do? I'll tell you what, not exactly working on the menu side of things. I'm wondering if it's a thing, and I bet it is. Let's delete the menu and let's start all over. Main navigation, create menu, bookworm blog and about, Amazon.com, find books at Amazon.com, add to menu, and save. Let's do a save again. There we go. Now I'm remembering what I forgot to do. It's always the small things, but that's all right. Main navigation menu, main navigation. It allows for a sub-navigation as well, so you need to save that. So what you need to do is create your main navigation like we did before, and then set that up as the main navigation menu under Save. So we'll go ahead and make sure that everything is saved. We're going to refresh. There we go. Bookworm blog about find books at Amazon.com. And it takes you to Amazon if you were to click on that. Let's go ahead and test out some of the other themes. Now that I know what I'm doing, it's always the small little thing. Now let's test that. And refresh. You'll have to go back in. Yes, you'll have to go back in if you change your menu and set that up as your main navigation and click on Save. And depending upon your themes, it'll allow you a main navigation or a sub navigation, and it may not allow you any navigation at all, as you saw. Let's refresh. There we go. Awesome. Very, very good. So we have three themes that we've downloaded and we can choose. The nice thing about installing your themes is that if you find seasonal themes, you can change them, like during Christmas or Halloween or Easter or spring break, that sort of thing. You can find themes and it would instantly change your website. And it's such a wonderful thing. But whenever you install your themes, you got to make sure, and you will have to change your widgets, as we did in this one. We would have to change that, and we'll go ahead. Let's add these widgets back. Text ASDF. Let's go ahead and do our. Let's see if our RSS is still there. News from CNN. So it saves all of those inactive ones. Let's put book posts. Let's get rid of this. I want to do a search. Put that up at the top. We put our message from the bookworm, put that down at the bottom. Okay, now that we got our widgets back in place, we refresh and everything is back the way that it was. So an important note that whenever you install a new theme, you'll have to reinstall your widgets and also redo your menu. And depending upon which theme that you have, your editor will change as well. You can change your background color or you can change your image, header, that sort of thing. You can change your color of your text, it looks like in this theme. Let's leave it as is. Display text, you can choose not to display it at all, or choose to display it. Each one of these options will change depending upon the theme that you have. Let's go ahead and change or make sure that we save everything. And I think that that is enough for this tutorial. I'm Robert Weimer, the go-to guy. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at robert@desireadifference.com. Thanks and have a wonderful and profitable day.